It never truly made any sense, but I ran with it anyway. A 5+ year stretch as a road warrior, studio rap musician, day in and day out, suddenly shifting into a period of being a rogue roller coaster enthusiast with a DIY camera setup stuffed into a fanny pack. No branding consultant would have drawn this one up, that's for sure. But that's what made this chapter so freeing. I was hyper-focused on trying to navigate the music industry strategically, and got spit out on the other side with the defunct band and the need to regroup yet another time in my 2 decades of being a musician. Fatigue and burnout were the emotions on the surface. Deep frustration, animosity, and defeat were lying even deeper. And when those feelings live within you, a healthy outlet to work through them becomes essential. I'm sure a few people on the periphery chuckled a bit at my exploits, but no one could even come close to understanding what these roller coaster laps were doing for me emotionally. Little by little, park by park, credit by credit, it all began to ease. It motivated me to get out and see corners of the world I never had on my radar before. It also helped keep me operating as the best version of myself through the continued development of my relationship with my wife as we inched closer and closer to our wedding day. And as forcefully as the original seed in my mind grew into the full-fledged passion it ultimately became, it also eventually began to shrink back towards its roots, giving way once again to the primary pillar of music as my soul's guiding force. This is the emotional state I find myself in on this particular day. A beautiful day in Orlando, Florida, sitting alone on the ferry over to the parks. By now, these reflective, mostly solo journeys to seek out and conquer roller coaster goals have created a full circle arc, guiding me toward the start of a new personal chapter. A married man and lifelong artist, celebrating the long-awaited release of the last 3 years of writing and recording work. Arriving back at a consensus mecca of sorts for the theme park inclined, today feels like a quiet victory lap for this reflective traveler. Travel to an unknown land is always profoundly rewarding, but not without its challenges. Returning to a familiar one, on the other hand, has its way of helping you remember who you were the last time you stood on that ground. This time last year, I was deeply consumed with the idea that being creative with my visits to theme parks could be an unexpected catalyst in my efforts to grow awareness in my work as a musician. An awareness that, for whatever reason, has historically proven extremely elusive for me. But when I unexpectedly had my subconscious mind all but scream at me during meditation to start diving deep into the roller coaster world again for the first time since my early teens, I thought it might be the sign I was looking for in my all-consuming, incessant brainstorming on how to connect the dots to the musical body of work I was putting the finishing touches on. The last time I stood here, I felt like I was genuinely feeding a new, crucial pillar in my creative studio. Today, feels a little different. More like a quiet, que sera, sera kind of tranquility. A subtle whisper that perhaps my obsession with cracking the code of digital media in the 2020s is actually what's keeping me from landing somewhere, anywhere stable. Because today, I don't have a single clue about what I can be doing to spin this day into something that can ultimately live forever in an inevitably dark and dusty corner of the internet's archives. I originally told the story of one man, alone at a personal crossroads, surrendering to youthful wonder once again in an attempt to fulfill dreams once held by his younger self. But once most of those dreams were fulfilled, the well of potential stories ran dry, and there was still no tangible social reason to persist. So now, looking out across Islands of Adventure's lagoon on a beautiful fall day, I figure I might as well just embrace the kind of experience this place was actually built for. Actual carefree fun and nothing else. Ah, what a joy it is to wake up, squeeze in some laughs, dope ass coasters, man. Islands of Adventure out here. Gonna soak this shit up, man. Let's go. Yeah! Come on! These days, I'm increasingly feeling the need to examine what our world's pressures are doing to my mental state. Because as an artist, I was of the last generation to still grow up on CDs and MTV, but became a professional in a world where those outlets are dead. My soul is that of an artist in the 80s or 90s, forced into being a part-time social media creator in addition. But even while adapting, it's extremely worthwhile to maintain an awareness in the back of our minds of the unnatural, overwhelming nature of the times. Personally seeing the exhaustive discourse around the most notable parks, visual windows into every single coaster worth riding across the globe, and not one little nugget of discovery left to be had in the roller coaster world, further strengthens my own feelings that this pursuit is beginning to dampen the joy it originally brought. Perhaps the way forward for this observer is to just let the vibes of an awesome day speak for themselves. So far, man. Let's see, what did I do? Gringotts, Men in Black, Hogwarts Express over to IOA, Hagrid's Velocicoaster River Adventure all in like 2 hours. That's what I wanted to do, man. This is how I celebrate, you know me. This park is fantastic. I know this is a place I'll keep coming back to over the years. Bring the whole family. And always make memories of a spot like this. Gotta love it, man. Grateful that the theme park goers over here don't like kicking it in this little corner. I don't know why. It's really nice. Cheers. But just as this feeling of content familiarity with this once dream destination sets in, it occurred to me that there was another reason I came right back here 1 year later. My third park day will certainly fulfill my desire for something new and mind expanding. By the time I got my bearings and truly settled in to the incredible vibes that are our dark universe, the overwhelming excitement of seeing this long-awaited park in person has finally settled into a more relaxed state. Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie, those first couple hours were a bit mentally chaotic and overstimulating. Wrapping my head around physically being inside this place I had only ever seen in construction drone footage and a small-scale model. Settling into the unique nature of its layout and soaking in my first ever entry into each land portal. All while trying to make sure I had my camera in hand for it all. I had to sit down and remember that I'm here to just soak it in and have fun. If I don't check off every single coaster here today, I'll survive. This park won't be going away anytime soon. Yo, gotta give it up, man. This is worth the hype right here.
Well, this is not surprisingly, everyone here will try.
Making peace with this was the final lesson I think I needed for now in my 2-year sprint to catch up in the coaster enthusiast world. Somewhere along all of that track, I was able to sort through all the residual emotions that lived within me as the lingering fallout from the years prior. These rides were more than a quick thrill, but rather a tranquil home base to return to again and again to calmly reflect amongst the high-speed physical chaos. An opportunity to be alone and begin figuring out what my next chapter of life as an artist will look like. And arriving at that point was way more valuable than hitting some sort of social currency metric goal on this public forum.
Oh my god.
And with that message sinking in as I look out across the stunning display of lights, fountains, and young foliage that is Year One Celestial Park, Letting the coaster count stand still for a little while and leaning back into music feels like the perfect conclusion for me to arrive at. Maybe down the line, I'll fiend once again for this type of connection to coasters and their parks. But until then, I hope my notes here from these lift hills found you well along your own personal journey with these incredible works of art. Yeah. Might take a few extra years next time, but there will be a next time.
In this dream I feel it getting closer. Know within my heart that it's almost time. I and I alone could pave the road right, with just a little help from the most high. In this dream I feel it getting closer.